Good morning, everyone.
Good
Call the
morning, Sam.
meeting of the Development Committee of DuPage County of August 19th to order, and may we have a roll call.
Okay. Member Krajewski? Member Rutledge? Here. Member Covert? Here. Member Ozog? Here. Vice Chair Yu? Here. Chair Tornatori?
Here. We have a quorum. I have no chairman's remarks other than welcome back. It's been a while. We have some public comment this morning. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person, 30 minutes in total. No new evidence will be taken, but we are glad to hear from anyone who is here. First person signed up is Brian Armstrong for item number, it's the Hannah's one, which is item number 60. So,
Good morning, everyone. Brian Armstrong on behalf of the applicant. This is a request for a conditional use and variation for a gaming facility on West Geneva Road. The owners are experienced gaming operators. They have two other facilities. The facility is proposed to be open from 9 a.m. to midnight. They do propose alcohol, of course, but alcohol purchase is very minimal at their other stores. $50 to $100 a day is what they expect at this location. There will be approximately 6 gaming units, so it won't be a big facility. There won't be a lot of units. It is in a B1 district in that area. Other uses are retail uses, dry cleaners, restaurants, grocery stores, that sort of thing, currency exchange. The ZBA did not have any issue with the conditional use. They approved that. The ZBA did deny the request for variation. The request for variation is necessary because it is approximately 700 feet from a place of assembly. The ordinance requires 1,000 feet difference, so that's the request. That's why the variation is necessary. The place of assembly that it's close to is Pleasant Hill Church, which is a modestly sized church. In fact, it appears that 2 different congregations share use of the building. So neither congregation is large. There's not a school. The church is not used for any school purposes. This area of Geneva Road is sort of shifting more towards business use and this type of use. The city of Wheaton, I know, made an objection on the basis that there shouldn't be more than 1 gaming facility in the same strip mall. That will not occur. Our client, the applicant, has a lease that gives them the exclusive right for gaming facilities in this strip mall. Also, the nearest property in Wheaton is about a half a mile away. This location in this strip center has been vacant for at least 5 years. So we do think that special circumstances exist here that warrant variation for those reasons, because the church is such a small church and it's used by multiple congregations and there's no schools there. The property has been vacant for 5 years. And because of the change, the more retail nature of the strip center in that area of Geneva Road, and no evidence at all of any adverse effect on the neighborhood. So with that, I respectfully request approval vote. Thank you.
thank you. Second public comment will be from Caitlin Culberson from who is here for the Marion Joy. Morning.
Good morning. Caitlin Culbertson from Elred Friedman on behalf of Northwestern Medicine Marion Joy Rehabilitation Hospital. First, I want to thank you for your consideration of our application for variations to allow the installation of new signage on the property. We are very pleased to get the recommendation of approval from the hearing officer. We believe all the pertinent information is in the application or narrative or the written recommendation from the hearing officer. But I just wanted to thank you for your time and to let you know I'm here if you have any questions when the agenda item comes up. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. That concludes the public comment portion of the meeting. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. Just ask the lane. We haven't had a meeting since July 1st. It seems like forever. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of July 1st, 2025.
We'll move. Second.
Any additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Moving on to regulatory services. I'll entertain a motion to approve DCR 4-25, ZSE 25-3, merit SWAT exercise to approve a special event action item for the DuPage Metropolitan Emergency Response and Investigation Team to complete an exercise at county-owned clean and lean property at 22 West 146 Hillcrest Terrace in Medina, Illinois, for generally not more than 2 days between August 27th and September 26th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments on this item? Rosa?
This is fine, except do they notify the neighbors or what is the neighbor situation there?
Oh, I'm gonna assume.
The neighbors, all the neighbors within 300 feet have been notified. There's no objection. When the event, an activity occurs or exercise occurs, we will notify the neighbors within a week in advance and then day of 24 hours.
I'm afraid I noticed your posture. I don't see your hands.
I know, guys.
It's
cold.
We're all suffering together.
I'll bring in gloves next week.
Is fire involved in this or?
No.
It's just general.
Just the DuPage
evacuation, et
group,
cetera.
yes, yeah. And we have a representative from the group, a newly minted deputy chief of police of the village of Darien, city of Darien, yes.
Okay,
So he's here to answer any questions about operations, but yeah, we will notify, we have already notified and we will notify
good.
week and 24 hours in advance.
It's important. Thank
Member
you.
Garcia.
That was my questions.
Same answer.
Damn you, Mayor.
No, it's okay. I'm guessing they'll be out there watching, seeing what's going on. Interesting. Any additional questions, comments? Here's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Moving on, item 6B, I'll entertain a motion to approve DCO 29-25, zoning 2523, a zoning hearing officer's recommendation to deny a variation to reduce the interior side setback for a chicken coop from 25 feet to 3 feet, and a variation to reduce the rear setback for a chicken coop from 25 to approximately 3 feet. Even though this was a denial, our motions are all in the affirmative. Do I have a motion to approve this? Motion and a second to approve. Any questions, comments? Oh, well, that's a surprise coming from you. Okay. This is your last shot at. I know. Yes, Member Rutledge, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Chicken
I just
advocate.
wanna say that I don't think that this should be approved either, and I wanna note that.
Oh, my God, wait.
How
Much
dare
as I
you?
love chickens, but the homeowner stated that, you know, he didn't want it closer to his home because of the smell and the
Right,
noise.
you can put it
And
next
we hashed that issue when we passed this initially. They don't make more noise than a dog. And as long as you maintain your coop, they don't smell. So that's my reason for voting to deny this request.
I'm so glad we're on the same page. If you're leaving, it's,
This is a nice
a nice parting
a
gift,
nice
isn't it?
chicken swan song.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this. Any other questions or comments? We have a roll call, please. Again, a yes vote will be to approve this. A no vote will be to sustain the hearing officer's denial.
Member Rutledge?
No.
Vice Chair you? No.
Don't
Member
pull up
Covert?
your chair,
No.
Sam.
Member Ozark?
No,
Chair Tornatori?
No, and the motion is denied. Moving on to item 6C, I'll entertain a motion to approve DCO 30-25, zoning 2534 at Northwestern Marion J. Rehabilitation Hospital. A zoning hearing officer's recommendation to approve a variation to increase the height of a proposed monument from 6 to 13 feet 11 inches. Variation to allow 2 signs on the subject property, and a variation to increase the total permitted copy area for 2 monument signs from 48 square feet to approximately 50 square feet. A motion approved.
So moved.
second?
Any questions, comments on this? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 6D, I'll entertain a motion to approve DCO 31-25, zoning 2535. Hannah's zoning board of appeals recommendation to deny conditional use to allow video gaming cafe restaurant B1 local business district, and a variation to allow a video gaming cafe restaurant to be located less than 1,000 feet from a place of assembly use. Paul, I'm going to ask you just, I don't think we need to do these separately, just simply because if one fails, the other's going to fail. Bias.
Well, to be clear, the zoning board of appeals denied everything.
That's okay.
But they did in their findings indicate that the petitioner had demonstrated that they had proven up the conditional use section. But their position was if the variation fails, then necessarily the conditional use would have to fail as well.
Okay, so that was my thought process in combining these, if that would be appropriate. Okay. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Questions, comments? Vice Chair, you.
Okay, so can we just hear a little bit more about variation and why it was denied? I understand it was supposed to be 1,000 feet. They're requesting the 700, but is this business in operations on Sundays as well? Like, is it every day of the week?
Yes,
I see. And what time does it close?
I
Open
believe,
and close?
I believe it closes at 1 o'clock. Liquor code would allow them to stay open until 2. But I believe it closes at 1. It's mostly an evening activity, but in terms of actual operations, it's mostly an evening activity, but in theory, people could be there during the day as well.
Okay. And I was just taking a look at, what's the difference between 700 versus 1,000 feet and like, the walking difference, and it's like 3-minute walk versus like a 6-minute walk or something. Is that true?
So the fundamental principle of zoning is to basically put like uses in similar categories, so residential, commercial, industrial, to protect the impact of where we know there's going to be an unlike use next to another use. Historically, the distance requirement has been a city block. Started out about 800 feet in more dense urban communities like New York City and Chicago. And then in the suburbs, it went to 1,000 feet. Basically, a city block is about 1,000 feet, and that's been substantiated in the courts. So whenever there is a type of use that could have a negative impact on adjacent properties where there might be children present, the 1,000-foot distance requirement has withstood the test of time, both in zoning codes and in the court system. It is effectively a block, and I know it may sound a little bit sophomoric, but the idea is that if you walk a city block, you're likely going to cross over 2 streets. And if you can cross over 2 streets, then the impact of that use that you're trying to protect, because there's children there, will be mitigated, because you really won't walk past it. One of the things that the petitioner talked about here is the lack of sidewalks, because most of the property on Geneva Road is unincorporated. There are some incorporated areas that do have sidewalks in Winfield. But for someone to be able to walk past this property, they'd actually have to walk in the street. So that was part of the argument of the petitioner as well. While they are within 1,000 feet, approximately 600 feet away from property line to property line, 700 feet away from building to building, the purpose of the 1,000-foot distance is really mitigated by here, because there's really no ability to have children walk past this facility.
Thank you.
And is the place of assembly have children in it? Is it a school?
It's not a school, so it's a church,
Okay.
place of assembly, religious institution. Incidentally, too, there was some concern that folks may have heard about there being a school close by. There is a school, Pleasant Hill School, that used to be located immediately across the street. That has been moved. There's a Walgreens facility there, and other commercial establishments in Winfield on the north side, across the street from this facility. And the Pleasant Hill School is well over 1,000 feet away from this property. So there is no school within 1,000 feet of this
That's
property.
the school on the north side of Geneva.
That's the school actually down Pleasant Hill Road, north of Geneva. It used to be at the hard corner across from this property, but that's been moved and there's a Walgreens there now. So just to avoid any confusion, there is no school within 1,000 feet, and across the street where there used to be a school is now a Walgreens and a strip shopping center.
CVS.
It might be CVS, I'm sorry.
I just want to be sure we're talking about
Product
the same
placement is
location.
not my,
Sorry.
I apologize to Walgreens or CVS.
That's no, I just wanted to be sure that's
I
what
think
we
you're
thought we
right,
were
yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, was there any discussion of them abridging their hours where they would operate from noon on a Sunday? Would that make any difference? I know
There
it
was a
still
dis-
doesn't-
There was a discussion about that. The problem with that is it's difficult to monitor. But one of the things that the petitioner did offer to mitigate the concerns about traffic from this facility potentially going into the neighborhood was that the owner of the strip shopping center, not the proprietor of this tenant space, but the owner of the strip shopping center would be willing to put in a right out only and a right in only. So anybody coming into this facility would not be able to come in from the residential property to the neighborhood to the south. And anybody leaving this property would have to turn right and then turn out onto Geneva Road. So there would be no ability for anybody coming from not only this gaming cafe, but from the facility itself to be
So
able to
there's
get
no
in.
entry onto Pleasant Hill.
This is not off of Pleasant Hill. I'm sorry, there is off of Pleasant Hill on the east side. So you can enter off of Pleasant Hill on the east side. But then Delano, believe it's Delano Street to the west. They would be willing to put in a right in, right out only on Delano Street, which goes
There's a
right into
couple
the
of those Across the
neighborhood.
street, it's kind of funky there.
Pleasant Hill is more of a collector street, where the Delano Street to the west is a residential street.
And that was a proposal from the property owner, not the petitioner.
Property owner, correct, who would be
So-
leasing the tenant space to the cafe.
So if it was the will of this committee to amend the petition and make that a part or make that a condition, how do we enforce a condition on an entity that is not before us, that being the property owner?
So, the property owner is
I
leasing.
mean, we could make that a condition. If the property owner doesn't do what they say they're gonna do, then the condition fails.
Condition fails and the relief fails. And
Uh,
incidentally, in order to, a lot of times when we put conditions on, those conditions deal with operations, which means you gotta get the operation up and going.
Mhm.
In this particular case, they would have to get a building permit to convert this space. As part of that building permit, they would have to put in the right in, right out. Without the building permit and doing the work inside the building and the right in, right out, they wouldn't get occupancy. So we wouldn't have an operational issue without the right in, right out.
Till they've done
I'm Rutledge,
I think my question has been answered.
I sure you.
Yes, you had said that there had been no discussion with regard to not being open on a Sunday. But can we amend the petition? I mean, if that's something that, this committee is interested in doing.
it,
But
like noon or something.
yeah, if it were just not open on Sunday, I don't know.
We'd have to look into that, and the reason being is that this is a permitted use. When I say permitted, this is a legal use in the state of Illinois. And we have not ever put any conditions on hours of operation of business entities. Because this is a conditional use, in theory, we could put some conditions on it. That's something that I'd like to explore with our state's attorney to make sure that that's a valid, condition, and also explore that with the petitioner.
I think if the petitioner came forward and made that a part of their application for the conditional use.
Sure.
That could mitigate a good share if we said 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, just cut out the Sunday morning, time when there's.
Because it doesn't fit where school children walking by, any of that sort of criteria. And it's been vacant for 5 years, so there is a definite.
So I spoke with the
Hardship.
petitioner's attorney, and if there's an appetite, they would like to explore that, which would mean they would like to potentially table this so we can explore that, bring it back at the next
Petitioner
meeting.
as well, and that seems to be a potential way to resolve the issue. I'll take member Rutledge before we understand a motion to take.
Thank you, Chair. How many gaming machines are we talking about in this facility?
6, the state law limits this type of facility at 6 only.
I just don't see a huge amount of traffic or, so for me, I'm gonna support this.
I have another question.
Just.
All right, let's go here,
Just real
and I'll come back to you.
Okay, did I hear, will there be alcohol served at this
Pardon me?
cafe? Will there be alcohol served at this cafe?
Yes, there will be,
Every day?
there will be alcohol served at this facility, and the reason that there's alcohol, let me back up. In order to get a gaming license in the state of Illinois, other than a truck stop, you have to get a pour liquor license from your local jurisdiction. So in order to get a gaming license, they have to pour liquor. The petitioner has testified, and you heard some of that testimony today, which was part of the public record, that they operate several gaming facilities in the Chicagoland area. And the pour liquor license is a requirement to get the gaming license from the state. But the amount of alcohol that is served in these gaming cafes is extremely limited. It's just a requirement of the state. And the reason it's a requirement of the state is that if you get a liquor license, then the state, which also runs which runs the gaming license, knows that no one in there will be over the age of, or under the age of 18. That's one way to make sure that they've got some protection on kids going into these facilities to game. They also have, in order to get a liquor license, you have to have background checks, you have to have building and health department checks, zoning checks and things like that. So there's a lot of work that's being done in association with the liquor license.
I have
Yes,
another question. Give me a second. Oh, where is the nearest gaming facility? Is it at Gary and, Geneva?
So the nearest gaming facility to this facility, which did receive a gaming facility, but likely will have to go through this process with the county because of our new gaming regulations and liquor control regulations, was at essentially Gary and Geneva Road,
Right.
just south of Gary, across the street from the old Wheaton Bowl, which is now a gas station.
Now, how did they get that with the proximity to Wheaton North?
So at the time.
Because that's right across the street. I
In
mean,
2019, when the county opted in, and there were no regulations. You may recall when we did cannabis, one of the things that we did with cannabis when we opted in is we passed a resolution. And the idea there was we'll pass a resolution to opt in, but we then want staff to go back and create some rules and regulations. With gaming, we didn't pass a resolution. We just said we're in, and there were no rules or regulations. And at the time, there wasn't the distance requirement established in our zoning code for gaming facilities for protected use in schools, daycare facilities, and religious institutions. So that's how a lot of these facilities were able to get their liquor license and then be able to get the gaming license. With the new zoning and liquor control codes, this 1,000-foot distance requirement, along with some other regulations, has created some requirements for people who didn't receive gaming license and liquor licenses to now come back and ask for zoning.
so they were grandfathered over.
I don't want to say they were necessarily
Well,
grandfathered.
there wasn't a rule,
Yeah, there
so you
wasn't a
can't
rule.
grandfather somebody. Okay, got it. Okay. All right.
Okay, so just to maybe tie a bow on this, there really aren't any children per se. There's not a traffic issue. The property owner would agree to a write in, write out, and the petitioner would consider hours of operation on Sundays to be potentially reduced to conform to the place of assembly. I've conferred with counsel. He feels that it would probably be best if the petitioner were to come back with these amendments to the petition as opposed to us imposing them, subject to state's attorney's approval. So with that, and if it's the will of the committee, I'll entertain a motion to table this for do we need to do it to a date certain, or because you're gonna go back to the zoning hearing officer, right?
Yeah, it has to go back.
When is that meeting? When's the meeting?
Well, let's table it to the next development committee meeting, if you don't mind. And the reason for that is that if there's new information that's tendered, then the question is it material to the case that where it has to go back to vet before the zoning board of
Maybe just
appeals,
can come right back here.
or it could come back here. We'll discuss that in 2
All right,
weeks.
I'll entertain a motion to table this to the next development committee meeting. Motion by Vice Chair you, as a second. All's in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the matter is tabled until. Okay, moving on to item 6E. I'll entertain a motion to approve DCO 32-25, zoning 2537. Zoning hearing officer's recommendation to approve a variation to reduce the interior side setback for a new detached garage, 9 feet to approximately 1.2 feet, placing a detached garage previously in existence on an existing concrete slab. There's a motion to second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, the motion carries. Any old business? Any new business? Member Rutledge, I'll miss you. You were vice chair for a long time. We've been on this together.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a chicken, I think of you.
Warms my heart to think that. I'm just saying.
We will miss you. Congratulations.
But only live happy chickens,
Yes, right.
not in the grocery store.
Oh, no, a real live.
Okay.
There being no further business, without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you all.
Okay.
Sheila, I'll